June 16, 2005, 21-year-old Corey Wright appears before Harris County Criminal District Judge Janine Barr.
Wright was charged with felony evading arrest.
The judge sets Wright's bond at $2,000. Like most defendants released on bond, Wright was likely warned, break the law and your bond is revoked.
It's really that simple.
December 19, 2005, just 6 months later, Wright is in misdemeanor court, where he's sentenced to 12 days in jail for marijuana possession.
That should have been the end of his bond.
But it wasn't. February 21, 2006, Wright's bond is revoked after he fails to appear in Barr's court. But get this, when he shows up a week later, the judge reinstates Wright's $2,000 bond, even though he had been convicted of a crime and failed to appear in court.
This guy was thumbing his nose at the system. I mean, he was daring them to lock him up.
March 3rd, just 4 days after Judge Barr reinstates Wright's bond, he allegedly shoots 35-year-old Patrick Robinson to death in the parking lot of Robinson's apartment.
What did you just say? And she said, my dad had just been shot.
Robinson's 29-year-old widow was so scared now, she asked we not show her face.
From what you've been told, Patrick was just out working on his car.
That's all. He wasn't in any confrontation with no one.
You had not one, but two opportunities to prevent this murder from taking place. And the criminal justice system failed miserably on both accounts.
It shouldn't have never happened. It shouldn't have never happened.
Judge Barr refused to discuss her decision to reinstate Wright's bond. But it was another suspect's get-out-of-jail-free card that left a Houston cop and a young mother dead.
Randy Wallace's exclusive investigation continues when we come back.
On April 3rd, 2003, Elijah Jobert and his two accomplices were after a safe full of money at a check-cashing business.
As she tried her best to open the safe.
But 27-year-old Alfreda Jones' best wasn't good enough for the three robbers.
One of the guys testified that she begged for her life.
But the begging didn't stop the bullets.
I think it was just changed.
Change. That's all the three robbers left with after gunning down Alfreda Jones and a veteran HPD cop responding to the call.
Yeah, 2 lives were lost for change.
What really needs to change, crime victim advocates say, is how this double murder and the recent slaying of Patrick Robinson happened in the first place.
None of these cases should have happened if the system had been functioning properly.
Before the two murders, Elijah Jobert had violated his bond in another case, but actually ended up having his bond lowered. 2 weeks later, Jobert and the two men who bonded him out killed Officer Charles Clark and Alfreda Jones. So how many other times have defendants on bond committed new crimes or picked up more charges only to be granted bond again? The district attorney's office tells us it doesn't keep track of that, but now that we've asked, an assistant DA says they are in the process of finding out. Maybe then there won't be any more needless murders of police officers.
The pain will always be there.
Store clerks.
A part of me did die that day.
And fathers of 9-year-old girls.
But she still has me, but she doesn't have her dad.
Randy Wallace, Fox 26, investigates.